to show you how I make my favorite bread, and because it's not only my favorite bread, but I'm gonna make this little movie especially for my friends. It's healthy. What's very important is it's a very good bread to bake at high altitude. We're at 9,000, 10,000 feet, so rising of bread is very hard to do. The ingredients I use is spelt flour, not whole wheat, doesn't work for this bread. Spelt flour, little bit of baking soda, cream tartar, salt, and very important, and that's psyllium husk. This is to bind the bread because there are hardly no gluten in it, so in that way, otherwise the bread will fall apart. What I always love to put in, because it makes the bread firm, tastes good, is rolled oats, pecan nuts or walnuts, so that really adds to the taste. About how much you use, I just do like this. That's why it's more easy for me to make this little movie. So I take at least 4 big scoops. I cannot make too much because I don't have an oven. So I put it in some kind of a charbroil, and the lid does hit this mold. So 4 big scoops, so probably about 1 lb I put in. Then I take the psyllium husks. It's about, I think 4 tablespoons, but it's not very precise. It's not science. So I just put something in it. This will bind the bread, make it firm. Then I put some Celtic sea salt. Of course, normal salt can be used. And this 1 big teaspoon. Then I take a huge teaspoon of cream tartar. That will make sure that the bread will rise. And the fun part about this one is you don't have to let it sit forever to make it rise. No, it's even very important that you, when we mix the bread, that it immediately goes into the oven. So just some rolled oats, just for fun, so it doesn't matter how much. I know it's very good for your stomach, it gives a good bite, it will absorb all the water. And we never ever want to miss all the nuts. So all I have to do is mix it in this bowl, and that's why I love this bowl. It's a silicone. It's a silicone mold, and you can use it to mix the bread in. And the fun part is, let me get some more water. That after you mix this, you can immediately put it in the oven. So it saves a lot of dishes. It's nice and easy. And what I try to do is that it comes really firm. You don't have to go with your hands in it. All you need to do is stir it, but making sure that it's nice and firm, that you get rid of all the flour, good mixed. And when it's completely mixed, so you don't see any dry flour anymore. And sometimes I make it too wet, and it's not a problem. All you do is just, add a little bit of flour. It's not this case, but I can just show you. Because baking this bread is for sure not a science. It's just make it a nice firm thing to stir. So you can feel it a little bit on your arm. And what is important is that when their nuts are sticking out, you push them in the bread, because otherwise the nuts will get burned. I scrape this side, it's a little bit clean. I just pat it a little bit, just for fun. And now it's very important that you don't let it sit. You close it, that's it, it goes in the oven for about, I would say, an hour for 150 Celsius degrees. So I've got about to calculate about Fahrenheit. And after it's done, you open the mold, get it out of the mold, flip it over, and do another half hour. Well, like I said, we're living up here in the mountains. We don't have an oven, but we got this wonderful thing, got it from a friend. It's called a charbroil. And you cannot really arrange the temperature, just low, medium, high. So what I do, I put it on almost high. So we try to measure the temperature about that. So that's why I said about 150 degrees. So I'm going to get my bread now and put it in the oven. So here's the mold. This is what I like. You just mix it in the silicone mold, you close it, and that's it. You can even choose to, if you want to make a huge bread, to keep it open and make some more quantity of it. I have to close it. And as you can see, it doesn't really fit. So the lid kind of pushes it down, so in that way it's not going to be perfect. But how wonderful that is another science to making it. So it's about 150 Celsius degrees. It's about an hour right now. So all the ingredients are kind of about how much you saw I put in. So that's what I kind of like it, and the bread always tastes so good. So we're gonna let set it for an hour. So an hour went by. Let me see. Look, there's the bread. And this is only my little problem because this kind of hits the lid, so it kind of pushes in the bread. So it's also a little bit sticky. Won't happen in your oven. There it is. And I just go like, hop. Flip it over. You can already see it's brown. And now I will do it for another half hour. I'm always so curious how the bread looks, although it's almost every time the same. Let me see. Looks good. You can see the nuts. Nice all the way in. So now we have to be patient till it cools off before we can cut the bread. So, it's cooled off, ready to eat. So nice and crispy. Really love the nuts in the bread.